Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over my Week 12 NFL predictions. So last week, I had a record of 7-7, and that brings my record on the season to 103-61. Starting off this week with the games on Thanksgiving, and speaking of Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys watching. But starting things off, we've got the Lions hosting the Packers. The Lions, they've been great this year, but their defense has struggled lately, as they've given them 38 points and 26 points in back-to-back games. They don't face the Packers' offense that isn't great, scoring just 20 points a game, but they were okay last week when they played the Chargers. The Lions need to get their defense back on track, but the Lions beat the Packers 34-20 in their previous matchup where the Lions ran the ball for over 200 yards. The Packers still struggle to stop the run as they allow 134.7 rushing yards per game, which is 5th worst in the NFL, and they face a Lions rushing offense that averages 136 yards per game on the ground, which is 5th best in the NFL. So the Lions just should be able to run the football at will, and that will lead them to victory here 27-17. Up next, we got the Commanders at the Cowboys. So the Commanders are just terrible. They lost to the Giants, who had Tommy DeVito at quarterback, and the Commanders' defense is especially bad, allowing 27.7 points a game, which is worse than the NFL. Then it face the Cowboys' offense, which is 2nd best in the NFL, scoring 30.2 points per game. And the Commanders also turned the ball over a lot. They had 6 turnovers a week ago and have 16 turnovers on the season, which is 2nd most in the league. And the Cowboy defense is great at forcing turnovers, as they've racked up 13 takeaways so far. So the Cowboys, they're going to dominate this game. This should not be close. The Cowboys win 34-13. Next game, we got the 49ers at the Seahawks. So we finally have a good Thursday night game. And the Seahawks will have Geno Smith for this game, but will likely be without running back Kenneth Walker due to injuries. But this is a big game in the NFC West, as these two teams are separated by just one game. And Seahawks, they've been good this year, but they're very banged up, and playing on a short week will definitely not help. And they're playing a 49ers team that is back to looking like the best team in the NFL. As since the Chase Young trade, the 49ers have a +6 turnover margin and have gotten to the quarterback 9 times, and that's in 2 games. So the 49ers should win this game against an injury-riddled Seahawks team, and the 49ers win by a score of 26-17. Moving to the game we've got on Friday, that is the Dolphins at the Jets. So the Jets have benched Zach Wilson and will be starting Tim Boyle at quarterback this week. Now, I know Zach Wilson's terrible, but is Tim Boyle really going to be any better? Because in his 5-year career, he has thrown just 3 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So I don't really think the offense will be any different with Tim Boyle at quarterback. And I think we'll still going to see the same offense that scores just 15 points a game for the Jets. Now, the Jets' defense is great and could be able to slow down the high-scoring Dolphins' offense that scores over 30 points a game. But there's only so much the Jets' defense can do when the offense can't score, and I think that's what we're going to see here. Jets' defense keeps it close initially, but the Dolphins eventually pull away and win this one 27-10. Moving to the games on Sunday, we've got the Falcons hosting the Saints. So the Falcons will be turning back to Desmond Ridder at quarterback after they started 3 games with Taylor Heinicke and lost all 3. But both teams really need this game in terms of the NFC South race. The Saints currently lead the division by 1 game, but the Falcons' offense has been pretty bad no matter who's been at quarterback this year, scoring just 18.9 points per game. They don't face the Saints' defense that allows only 19.8 points a game and is very good against the run and the pass. I think the Saints extend their lead in the NFC South and beat the Falcons by a score of 20-14. Next game, we got the Steelers at the Bengals. So obviously the Bengals will be without Joe Burrow after he tore a ligament in his wrist and is out for the year. But the Bengals will now turn to Jake Browning as their starting quarterback. And this is the first season Jake Browning has taken a snap in the NFL. And his numbers on the season in very limited action: 8 completions on 15 attempts for 68 yards and a touchdown. So we really don't know what to expect for Jake Browning, who's making his first career NFL start. But he will have to face a very good Steelers defense that is allowing only 19.5 points per game. Now, the Steelers aren't the greatest team against the pass, allowing 240 passing yards a game, which is 23rd in the NFL. But the Steelers' offense has been terrible, scoring just 16.6 points a game. But they finally fired Matt Canada this week, so maybe that could be the spark the offense really needs, because the Steelers' offense has been awful. But either way, if the Steelers' offense is good or not, I think they'll be able to beat the Bengals because of their defense, and we have no idea what to expect from Jake Browning. Steelers win 16-13. Up next, we got the Titans hosting the Panthers. So this is the battle of rookie quarterbacks who both haven't been great so far. For Bryce Young and the Panthers, they're the worst team in the NFL at 1-9, but the Titans are much better. This game is not really going to be all that great. The Titans have more support around Will Levis and have the better defense, so they'll take the win here. But this is going to be a pretty boring game, low-scoring game. Titans win 20-13. Next game, we got the Buccaneers at the Colts. So the Buccaneers have really struggled as of late, losing 5 of their last 6 games, and their offense has not been good. They don't face a pretty good Colts offense that is scoring a little over 24 points a game, so that already isn't good for the Bucs. But the Buccaneers defense is good, allowing just 20 points a game, and the Buccaneers could have a decent offensive day because the Colts defense isn't very good, allowing over 24 points a game. But the Buccaneers can't run the ball, which puts a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield on the passing offense. I could see this game going either way. The Colts are the better team offensively, and I think they'll be able to do enough even against a good Buccaneers defense. They're also coming off a bye and at home, and the Colts got the win by a score of 24-20. Moving on, we've got the Giants hosting the Patriots. So this is going to be a terrible game. These are the two worst offenses in the NFL. The Giants are scoring 13.5 points per game, and the Patriots are scoring 14.1 points per game. The Giants, they are coming off a win over the Commanders, where they scored 31 points, but they scored 24 of those points off turnovers. Neither team has been that good defensively this season. The Giants' defense has had their moments, and I think they could make some big plays against a bad Patriots offense. So I'm going to take the Giants with the win, and that is not something I thought I would be saying for the rest of the year. But I'm going to take the Giants in one of the worst football games ever played by a score of 10-6. Next game, we got the Texans hosting the Jaguars. So this is a huge game for the AFC South because the Jaguars lead the division by one game, and this is already the second meeting between these two teams after the Texans won in the first meeting. The Texans, they've rode C.J. Stroud at this point in the season, as he averages nearly 300 passing yards a game, which is best in the NFL, and he now faces the Jaguars defense that is allowing 254 passing yards per game, which is fourth worst in the NFL. The Jaguars, they got back on track last week with a win over the Titans, but this is a game that could go either way. I'm going to take the Texans because of their offense and their offensive matchup. They've also won 10 of the last 11 against the Jaguars, so the Texans win this game in a close one. That's also a very good game, 27-24. Next game, we got the Browns at the Broncos. So this is another game that could go either way. The Browns will be starting Dorian Thompson-Robinson again this week, and he faces the Broncos defense that has been much better as of late, as during the Broncos' 4-game winning streak, they're allowing just 17 points a game, and have forced a ton of turnovers in that span. Now, they now face Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who has thrown 4 interceptions in 2 starts this season, so I think the Broncos will have another great defensive game. For the Browns, they've also rode their defense all season long, and their defense is insane, allowing just 18 points a game, and is also allowing the least amount of yards per game in the NFL. So this is going to be a low-scoring game. This is a true coin flip for me. The Browns won last week because of their defense when I didn't think they would. This is a game that could definitely go either way. I'm going to say the Browns win this game, again, because of their defense, and they win this game by a score of 14-13. Next game, we got the Rams at the Cardinals. So this is another really tough game to predict. The Rams destroyed the Cardinals in their first meeting, but now Kyler Murray is back for the Cardinals, and he's been pretty good so far this year. For the Cardinals, they're going to need to stop the Rams' offense if they want to get the win, and their defense isn't amazing, scoring 26 or allowing 26 points a game. I think the Rams get the win here, but this game could go either way, but I'm going to take the Rams with the win 26-20. Next game, we got the Chiefs at the Raiders. So the Chiefs really need to bounce back game after losing to the Eagles 21-17 on Monday Night Football. And while the Chiefs lost, it wasn't because of their defense, which has been great so far this year, allowing just 16.4 points a game, which is third best in the league. They now face a Raiders offense that isn't very good, scoring just 16.8 points per game. So the Chiefs should win this game because of their defense, but they do need to get the offense back on track, which is scoring just 22.5 points a game, and has been held under 20 points in 2 of their last 3 games. But the Chiefs win this game because of their defense. Their offense plays a decent game, and the Chiefs win by a score of 23-10. Moving on, we've got the Bills at the Eagles. So the Bills got a much-needed big win over the Jets last week where they won 32-6. But they now have to go to Philly to face an Eagles team that has continually found ways to win this year. Both teams are top 7 in scoring offense, averaging about 27 points a game. I think this game could turn into a shootout. But the Bills actually have the better defensive numbers, allowing 17.3 points a game, while the Eagles allow 21 points a game. But I just don't trust the Bills' defense, and because of that, I'm going to take the Eagles with the win, because I trust their defense more. They're home, and they've also just consistently found ways to win so far this year. I think this is a good game, but the Eagles have remained the only one-loss team in the NFL and win by a score of 30-26. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we've got the Ravens at the Chargers. So we might have a live watch party for this game, I'm not sure yet. But if we do, it will start at about 8:15, or a couple minutes before kickoff. But the Ravens, they're one of the best teams in the NFL, but they will be without star tight end Mark Andrews after he suffered an ankle injury in the win over the Bengals and is out for the rest of the year. The Chargers, they're 4-6 and really need a win after back-to-back losses. Both teams have great offenses, as the Ravens scored 27.6 points a game and the Chargers scored 25.9 points a game. But the difference between these two teams is the defensive side of the ball, where the Ravens allow only 16.1 points a game, which is second best in the NFL, while the Chargers allow nearly 24 points a game. So I think this will be a pretty good game for the majority of the game before the Ravens pull away weight and win this one by a score of 31-20. And our final game, it is Monday Night Football. We've got the Bears at the Vikings. So we will have a live watch party for this game, starting about 8:10 Eastern Time on Monday, so I hope to see you guys there. But the Vikings, they've been very good lately, even though they are coming off a loss to the Broncos last week. They've still been much better as of late. They may be getting Justin Jefferson back for this week, but his status is still up in the air. But with or without Justin Jefferson, I don't really think the Vikings will have a problem with the Bears, because the Bears are bad. Their defense allows 26 points a game. Their offense scores only 21 points a game. The Vikings should win this game over their division rival pretty easily, and I have them winning by a score of 28-17. And if the Vikings do end up winning, this will be their 6th straight win over the Bears. But those are my Week 12 NFL predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my predictions, disagree, and why. I would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to check out the community tab of my channel, where you guys can vote on who you think will win some of these big games. But thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.